Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Raszageth fight in Vault of the Incarnates on normal and heroic difficulty. We've got 3 phases and 2 intermissions. It's a long fight, but it's pretty scripted and predictable, which makes it easy to learn. In phase 1, she'll use Electrified Jaws on her tank. That stacks a debuff, swap after each stack. She'll mark several players with static charge, and after 8 seconds, they'll explode for raid damage and drop a big puddle. The damage is reduced by distance, so the easiest thing is to send these guys to the edge and spread them out. If you're dropping a pool, it's a good time to use a personal cooldown. Hurricane Wing does some damage and pushes the whole raid back. It can push you clean off the platform to your death. Stand in front of a lightning puddle and it'll save you from getting blown off. Ideally, if you drop one right here in front of the boss, you can stack the whole raid in it, get some more uptime, and make things easier for healers. Lightning Breath is a big frontal beam from the boss that will super kill you, so pay attention and don't wander in front of the beam. Volatile Current marks everyone with rings and then spawns each person their very own spark. Spread out a little so you're not in anybody's ring. You need to pop your spark, which you can do by stopping its cast. If you have a kick it. You can also stun, paralyze, knock it back, knock it up, sleep, fear, basically anything that would prevent a cast. If you don't think you have anything that can do it, root around in your class tree, the left one, just to see what you can find. You got something. If any sparks are not popped, it's a big ol' raid damage dot, so have a plan and then use it. AoE clears like Ring of Peace and the Dracthyrnox can help with extra sparks, but the safest thing is for everybody to take care of their own. At 65% health or half vault integrity, the boss will go immune and you're into the first intermission. There will be a knockback from the middle, and you need it to bump you to these smaller side platforms on the left and right. Split the raid in half and send half to each side. Raszageth will alternately harass each side by doing strafing runs across them. Check where she's coming from and get out of the path of the breath, it will fry you. On those platforms, you need to do a lap and kill adds. Interrupt them as much as you can to help healers, move out of the big breath when you have to, and then walk onto the teleport pad to get back to the middle once you're done. When both sides are clear, phase 2 begins. Our key mechanic this phase is Storm Surge. Everyone is going to get a red or a blue mark, wind or lightning. What you want to do is stack up with your same mark and do not touch anyone of the opposite mark. Then, burn off a big absorb shield on the boss while healers deal with exciting raid damage. The easiest way to do this is mark 2 stack points kind of near each other so healers can reach both stacks, and save cooldowns if you need to for that shield. Do be careful making your way to your mark to avoid anyone with the other color. Tempest Wing is this expanding wave pushback situation that hurts a lot. You want to get through it as fast as possible so you could get near the center before it begins, and save any sprints, blinks, or other teleports that you can to help you get through it or past it safely. If you've got nothing, just run against the pushback as best as you can, and maybe use a personal or a health pot if you're dying. Fulminating Charge puts out a couple of these huge electric rings onto people. Anybody with those needs to move to the edge as best as they can, and everyone else help by moving out of the way. If you get tagged by a ring when it goes off, you'll get a little one for yourself, and nobody needs that. Sparks are back in this phase, and the plan is the same. Loose spread and pop your spark with a CC or interrupt. Our second intermission triggers when vault integrity drops to 0 or the boss hits a quarter health, whichever happens first. We stay put this time. The boss strafes across the platform with breath runs again and is immune to damage like last time. Do not get hit by the breath. You can see it coming from these bubbles lifting off the platform, and it's a very wide path, so just get far out of the way and be safe. This intermission features a big Storm Fiend add to fight, and it does 2 main things. 1 is these lightning balls, those will stun you if they hit you. 2 is Storm Break, which teleports it and summons a pack of little adds from where it used to be. You need to slow and kill those to prevent them from making it to their big brother. Otherwise, big brother gets big buffed and big kills you all. After the big ad is down, prepare to get knocked to the final platform for phase 3. This one. Stack the whole raid right here so you all make it to the right spot. Maybe lay down a raid marker. This last phase has a lightning ring of bat around it that will crawl towards the middle over time, giving you less space to work with. Thunderous Blast is a very important new tank mechanic to this phase. It aims a frontal beam at her tank and does raid damage that is reduced by mitigating the tank hit. The current tank can aim that in a predictable direction, mitigate as much of it as you can, tank swap when it's done, and nobody else should be anywhere near the current tank. The lightning breath is back and will once again cook you. Tempest Wing returns also, and the plan is the same, just fight against the push. Giant lightning rings are also back, and it's much trickier to get out of them when there's no room. Don't be afraid to run it into the lightning border if you have this to give your raid space. You can survive that with a personal, and it's better than frying the group. Everyone else, do your best to find a safe spot to stand. I know that's easier said than done sometimes. On normal, that's the fight. On heroic, there's a handful of upgrades that make things spicier. Volatile Sparks will get 2 charges on heroic. You pop it once, then do it again. Look in your toolkit and come up with a plan. If your raid is struggling to pop all the sparks, consider clumping a few near players that can AoE pop them. Figuring this out and reliably dealing with sparks is a big part of getting through heroic. The ads in the first intermission get a few more spells to cast. You still want to interrupt and kill them. There's also these little rings to spread with, no big deal. In phase 2, touching the wrong marker during Storm Surge will do AoE and get very dangerous. Be super careful making your way to your stack point. The second intermission on heroic will have 2 big ads instead of 1. Split the raid into 2, be extra careful dodging balls and breaths, and try to nuke the little ads when they cross paths. In the final phase, heroic gets magnetic charge. A player will get picked for this, and after 8 seconds they grip the whole raid to them. It also does raid damage that is reduced by being far from the target before they yoink you to them. The target needs to get away from the group, but you have to be hyper careful to not yoink the raid through the breath or the tank beam. Maybe just stay on the same side of the dragon. And that's Raszageth. Thanks for watching, good luck in the raid, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.